Good afternoon and welcome back to Educates Motivates Marketing Webinars. My name is Jessie Crawford and we're glad you're able to join us today and we're excited to be back. Since we've last hosted a webinar, we've announced a new service, our content marketing. We also have welcomed Chelsea Cagle to our team. Our content marketing service, which allows you to deliver high quality, high net worth marketing content to your clients, referral sources, and prospects on your terms, is a great addition to our e-newsletter marketing service. Our newest member, Chelsea Cagle, who will be joining us as our marketing support, I'd like to welcome her to the line. Good afternoon, Chelsea Cagle.
Hi Jess, thank you. I am excited to be a part of Educate to Motivate. Before we start today's call, we do have a few housekeeping items. There will be a Q&A opportunity at the end of the call, and there are two ways to ask a question. You can either, there's a hand icon on your GoToWebinar toolbar, and you can click it if you want to ask a question, and at the end of the call we'll unmute you and you may ask your question. And you can also type questions into the chat box. Today's program is being recorded and it will be available later this week for review. And our goal on the call is to provide you with the highest level of service and expertise possible and to remind you that we're available as a marketing resource to help you succeed.
Our goal in today's call is, in this 3-minute presentation, we'll be explaining how to set up and use LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. The first three are pretty popular and have been around for quite some time. Google Plus is new to the market, so we wanted to touch base on that and just give you a brief intro. Another heads up, we wanted to remind you that next month we have our next marketing webinar where we'll be digging a little deeper into LinkedIn. So be sure to keep an eye out for an invite to that. Our first, go ahead, Chelsea.
Sorry, we are going to just run a quick poll question just to kind of gauge the audience and see who all's on our webinar. So just our question is, what is your position in your company? Marketing, financial professional, attorney? Are you a business owner so you kind of do a little bit of everything, or are you other? We'll give them a couple more seconds to answer. We've got almost 80% voted. Okay, looks like everybody might be done, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, go ahead, Joss.
Well, thank you for your participation. Okay, so our first platform we have that we wanted to highlight is LinkedIn. For those who don't know, LinkedIn is a social network for work professionals. It was created by Reid Hoffman in 2002. There's currently over 161 million professionals worldwide who have connected with LinkedIn since its official launch in May 2003. So it's a huge networking opportunity for those who haven't had the opportunity to join. The LinkedIn members you can actively search for jobs or read work-related content on the platform. In 2011, there was 4.2 billion professionally oriented searches, and it's set to oversurge 5.3 billion in 2002. So it's a huge opportunity to market yourself as well as your company. So the first page that we have is our LinkedIn profile. Once you go into the settings and you've created your account, you're going to see your profile. Now mine's already been set up, but the first thing you're going to want to do is upload your photo. Now this is in edit mode, so you can see that it's giving you the option of the little camera. You're going to want to pick a photo that shows you off well. It's in a professional light, but also has a little bit of character to it. To the right of that, you'll see the little pen. If you click on those, it'll just allow you to edit any of the content. So the first thing up is your name. Just stick with your professional name. My full name is Jessica, but I go by Jessie. So over any network or any platform, I make sure that it's all Jessie. So if anybody was to search me, they'd be able to find me easily. Now, below that is the headline, and you're going to want to keep your professional headline. By default, it's going to go to your current job title. But you're going to want to make sure that it's key word rich. So do something that captures people's attention. It has to stay under 120 characters, and you're going to want to tailor it to say exactly what you do or what kinds of jobs you're seeking if you are in the market for a new job. So I'm not only employed by E2M, but I also work for Innovision. I'm sure that's how a lot of you know about E2M or Chelsea and I. So I have not only a marketing specialist, social media, digital marketing, but I also put in there the advanced estate planning, since that is what Innovision's main focus is. Right below that, you'll see I've magnified it. You'll see the LinkedIn URL. This is going to be key on what you're going to want to edit. Just click on that, and you're going to want to change the URL to / your name. So then it will include the address on your resume, cover letter, and the bottom of signature line of outgoing emails too will be signed off www.linkedin.com/in/Jessie Crawford. And that's just going to, again, it's really relevant for SEO. Right below that, we have the summary. The summary is really important because it also, not only does it give you a chance to talk a little bit about yourself and what you do, your personal goals, but it also gives you the opportunity to highlight your company that you work for or the company that you're marketing. Now, the description should be of your current position. It should be keyword rich, and just give a small intro as to you as in a professional level, your goals, strengths, expertise. This profile summary is of Scott Hamilton's, who is owner of Innovision. So he describes that he was the founder of Innovision, who he helps, who he works with, what the company does, and then a little bit below here you can see all of his specialties, which is really important because these pull up significantly in searches at the top when you search in LinkedIn. Next, you're going to want to highlight all your experience. So what Scott has is that he's CEO. This is his current experience. You put in the job headline title. It gives the timeline of when you've been with the company, and then a little description of what the company does. We always stick to the summary as to what you do for the company, and then below that for the experience, putting in the company's main objectives. If you have worked previously, if it's past experience, then I would put down what the company did as well as what you did for the company. And then you can also see underneath the experience you have recommendations or any courses that correspond to the company that you're highlighting. And then if the company is in LinkedIn, a little logo will show. So Innovision has its own company page as well as E2M. So what are your skills? Now this is going to be really important, and it's something new in the past year that they've added to LinkedIn. It's a great way to get endorsement for your specific skills as well as to endorse others, which is always a plus. These are my skills and expertise that I've taken a picture of. We have, once you start typing in your different skills, it's going to start popping up in the search bar what's the most relevant or popular. So you're going to want to stick with those just because it's showing you what other people are putting into their skills and what other people are searching. So that it will help you compare terms to similar terms and show out what's most popular. So just edit accordingly and put down as many. You don't want to get carried away with getting too particular, but you want to make sure that you're highlighting the top skills that you have to offer. We have below that, there's all of what we also know about, and that's just, these can either be programs that you've used or different skill sets that you have that might not list as high as the skills and expertise above. And then to the right, you can see everybody that's endorsed for these skills. So it shows their profile, and then you can click on that and see, you know, the relation to that person. Another nice thing that they've just added is volunteer experience, and this just gives you it gives people an idea of what you do outside of the office. So it shows a little bit about you and what's important to you. I've highlighted past experience of volunteer work that you've done. You can also, any opportunities that you're looking for, you can do causes that are important to you and organizations that you support. So if it was to be a company page that you were highlighting, you could do something that the company has supported since it's been around. Another important thing is just as important as your skill set is your share projects and publications. Now, projects on the top left, it gives you the opportunity to edit and add in the title of the project and then a little bit of a description. And then if you were to click on the headline, it takes you to that project. So the three that I've highlighted on my professional profile is some brochures and handouts that I've done for InnoVision. Not only does it highlight my things that I've done in the past, but it also is a chance to highlight services that InnoVision provides. Then we have publication. These are different publications. It's really good to highlight what you have written or contributed to, if there's certain articles or publications. Scott has done quite a bit, so his list goes beyond this, but just to show a couple. And then some tips to take away from the LinkedIn is, since the past year, we've added, or LinkedIn has added quite a bit of new apps that you can add into your LinkedIn profile, which automatically gets updated every time you update that application. And some of those applications, just make sure to write these down. We have SlideShare, polling, events, WordPress. So if you have a blog, it's a great way to keep your blog and your LinkedIn profile connected. So anytime you have a new blog post, it gets updated. Another one is to endorse others. Like I said before, what's nice about LinkedIn is that they've now, once you go to somebody's profile, at the top it will say, do you want to endorse Chelsea Cagle for this skill, as you see right here. And all you have to do is click yes. If you don't want to, you can just bypass that. But endorsing others is a great way to not only show that your connections, but it's also to show that you've, in your network, who you've worked with. Another key one is to follow thought leaders, and those could be either an individual or it could be a company. We'll go deeper into LinkedIn, using LinkedIn to market your company in our next presentation, but following thought leaders is a great way to read upcoming articles. It can, just anything that's new in the industry. Share and update. There's a couple different things that is great about sharing updates. You can, if you read a terrific article, share it with your connections as an update. That way it illustrates that you continuously are learning new things. Something that they've just added is tagging or linking companies or contacts. So this is right below your photo and it's right under activity. And all you do to tag them is start to type in the name. It kind of works like Facebook, and it will start to recognize the first couple letters of either the company or the contact, and it will pull them up. So if someone was to click on Chelsea Cagle right here, it would take her to her profile, as well as the company right here. Adding links, we've said this before in some of our blogs, is to add a link, which always adding traffic within is just great for SEO amongst all of your different platforms. So we've added a link for Educate to Motivate, and then it gives you a brief description of what the link. Now this description is going to come from the page description. So if you don't have the ability to update the page description on the website, you can update it down here, which is really nice. And you can change the headline. And you can decide whether or not you want to share it publicly or share it privately, just with a few different contacts. Now, our next platform, which Chelsea's going to be going over, is our Twitter.
Okay, thanks, Jess. So Twitter is a microblogging service that started in 2006, and at its heart are 140 characters. They're bursts of information, which they're called tweets. And users can include links to other content in their tweets, and they can make their tweets either public or private. Celebrities, politicians, companies, and other public figures have established significant followings on Twitter. And Twitter has even become a way to broadcast breaking news. So today I'm going to explain to you a little bit about how to set up a company Twitter, and then I'm just going to define some Twitter vocabulary. So as you can see, this is our E2M Twitter account. So setting up your Twitter profile, I'm just going to highlight some of the important parts. You can see on the left all the different tabs. The account tab is important because that's just going to be some of your basic information. You're also going to have, that's where you can create your username, and your username is also known as your Twitter handle. So for ours is edu2motivate. It's educate to motivate was just too long. On this one, you can see this is where our profile tab is. So this is where you'll put some of your pictures. So we always use our logo for any of our profile pictures. You can change a header to be anything. We just have it as just a gray little background just to make it pretty. You know, you want to put your name, your location, your website, and your bio. And then the next one is the design tab, and this is where you're going to set up the background of it and the look of your Twitter profile. So we kind of suggest, we use an image in our background. We have a computer screen and it has our website on it. We kind of like to, we wanted to put that there so people understood what we did if they just came to our site. And then we also have for our background colors, our link colors and stuff, they just match our logo and our company colors. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of go through some of the, I know we've had a lot of questions about what are hashtags, what are tweets, what are retweets, so we're just going to go through some of these. So the first one is a tweet, and a tweet is basically just a message that's posted on Twitter that contains 140 characters or less. So you can see this is one of the tweets that we did on September 25th that actually had a link to our webinar today. So how do you tweet? If you go to on the left, there's a home tab, and under the home tab, this is where your news feed is going to be. Your news feed, you can see is on the right, and that's everybody that you follow. That's where all of their tweets are going to be. And then on the left, that's going to be a little text box, and that's where you post your tweet. So you can see, obviously, I just made a little example of it, but you can use hashtags, which I'll explain, or you can mention someone. Sorry, I'm kind of starting to lose my voice. Okay, a hashtag is a way to categorize specific words or topics. So all you have to do is just put the number symbol or the pound symbol in front of keywords, phrases, terms, names, whatever, and make it a hashtag. So you can see for our example, this is one that we did. The words attorneys, CPAs, CFPs, LinkedIn, EP, BP, and HNW are all hashtags. So what's the point of using a hashtag? You can either, in your search bar, you can put a hashtag in front of whatever word you want to search, and then under it, that's where everybody that's tweeted that same hashtag, that's where it's all going to go. So we just kind of showed attorneys, and you can see all of these have the attorney hashtag in them. So it's kind of good for researching as well. And then another way to search, you can go to a person's profile. So like for ours, if you would have gone to this tweet and you clicked like the HNW, anything that's high net worth, anybody that's used that hashtag, that'll come up. Okay. A retweet is a tweet by someone else that's forwarded by you or another Twitter user. So if you go to the Connect tab at the top and then go under Interactions, you can see everybody that's retweeted you. So you can see Social Media Writer retweeted our tweet about our webinar today. And then how do you retweet? It's pretty easy. You can either go to your news feed, and if you just kind of hover over the tweet that you want to retweet, that the options to either reply, retweet, favorite, or more will come up, and all you have to do is just click the retweet button, and then it'll show up on your profile that you've retweeted it. Okay, so what is a favorite? It's kind of self-explanatory. It's just a tweet that you or somebody else likes. And I kind of like to think of a favorite as like bookmarking a website because it's easy to refer back to. So how do you favorite a tweet? You just go to somebody's profile. Well, there's two ways. If you go to somebody's profile, you can do the same thing where you just hover over it and then you'll have those options and you just click the favorite button. Or if you see a tweet that you like that's in your news feed, you do the same thing. Just kind of hover over it, click the favorite button, and once you do favorite it, there's going to be a little yellow star in the corner, and that's how you know that there's that you favorited it. And it's also going to show up on your profile. So you can find your favorites by going to the Me tab, going down to favorites, and then all of the tweets that you've favorited will come up. So that's kind of how I think of it as bookmarking a website, because you can get back to it easily if it's something you wanted to go back to read. So for Alan Orlowski, he had an article. So if I wanted to go back to read that article about life insurance and estate planning, I could just easily go back to that and click the link. Okay, a follower is a Twitter user that has chosen to follow you in your tweets. So you can see that we've had a couple people follow us. How do I follow someone? You just go to their profile and click the follow button. And then once you follow somebody, all of their tweets will come up in your newsfeed. So following someone's easy if you like what they tweet about. And then how do you know who's following me? Again, just go to that Me tab, and then if you click, you can actually click, if you click following, that's going to show you everybody that you are following. And then if you click the followers, like what's shown right here, that's going to show everybody that is following you. And you can also see here, so you can see that Hootsuite is one of our followers, but then you can see that we're also following them because the little follow button is blue. So you can see that Santosh, we don't follow him. So if we wanted to, we could just click that little follow button right there and start following their tweets. Okay, a mention is when someone refers to your Twitter handle or your username in a tweet. So you just go to the Connect tab at the top, then go under Mentions, and then anybody that's mentioned you in a tweet, these will show up. So Eaton Cambridge mentioned us when they were watching one of our webinars. And then when you go to mention someone, you just go back to your Home tab, and this is the same place where you just type in any tweet that you want. Just start typing in thanks for the, like I just did this as an example, but like thanks for the follow, and I actually just tagged myself. But when you start to, if you do the @ sign, that's how you have to mention someone, and then start typing in their username. And then it'll also just start filling it in for you, and it'll eventually just guess who you're trying to mention. Okay, a reply, again, pretty self-explanatory. It's just a response to another person's tweet. So you can see we did something, we replied to InnoVisions, one of their tweets. So how do you reply? Again, you just hover over the tweet that you want to reply to, click the reply button, and then you're going to have this little text box that comes up at the bottom, and the InnoVision Twitter user, or their username actually gets filled in automatically. Twitter will do that for you, and then you just have to type in your response. And again, you only get 140 characters, so just remember that. And then we just have a couple tips for using Twitter. Follow thought leaders. Again, kind of like what Jesse said for LinkedIn. I follow a lot of people in marketing just so I can stay up to date on current trends and see what's going on. Or that's also how I see if there's been updates to Twitter or to Facebook or to LinkedIn, or if they've added new apps. A lot of times that's how I find these things out. Engage in conversations. So just start tweeting, mention or reply to others, retweet things or favorite things that you find interesting, and then use hashtags in your tweets. So this is going to help you get found across the Twitter universe, because if you start typing in like what we do with our attorneys or CFPs or CPAs, and people are searching attorneys, CFPs, and CPAs, they're going to find us. They're going to find our different Twitters, and then they'll find our tweets that we've sent, and then maybe some of you guys, that's how you guys found our webinar today. Okay, so we have one last poll question that we want to run before Jesse goes and talks about Facebook. So I'm going to run that really quick. Our question is just, what is your purpose for using Facebook? Is it to communicate with your network, to educate referral sources, prospects, clients, to promote your products and services, or other? Okay, let's give them just a couple more seconds. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Okay, so it looks like promote your products and services, and other is the leading with that, with both of them are 32%.
Great, thanks Chelsea. So when we, just based off of those results, it looks like a lot are, of the audience, a third is to promote products and services. We're going to be talking just about building a profile today, but we will go into marketing through Facebook in upcoming webinars. So Facebook is one of the world's largest social networks with more than 1 billion users. Mark Zuckerberg founded Facebook in 2004, as you all know, while he was an undergraduate computer science student at Harvard University. So Facebook just gives you the ability to connect with friends around the world. You can also connect with colleagues, follow celebrities, bands, or businesses. You can sign up to create a page for a celebrity, band, or business. So we'll get into that in an upcoming webinar. And what's just going to allow you to do is see what's new, share what's new, and find out more. So let's get into how to build a Facebook profile. This is a picture of my Facebook profile. And what it's highlighting right now is the timeline. So they've about 1.5 years ago, they switched over from the old Facebook look to the new one, which is featuring the timeline. It had a lot of mixed reviews, and I think it still takes some time to getting used to for those who did make the switch. For those who are just joining, I'm sure it's not as difficult just because this is what you're going to be learning to use. Sorry about that, just went a little too far. So editing your profile. The first step is to create, they'll take you through all of your information. So when you're signing up for the account, it used to be that you had to be part of a college or a student at a university. So it was really, and that was in 2003 or 2004. And it was really selective on who they let in, so they weren't even allowing all students of all universities or colleges to become a member. When it opened up to the public, it really created this huge array of age demographics as well as around the world. So it wasn't just limited to the students. But so that will take you through all of that. We just need your email address to sign up. So once you've gotten through that steps of just your basic information to register your account, you're going to want to edit your profile. The first is to edit your profile picture, and like I mentioned in LinkedIn, you just want to choose a picture that shows you in a professional light as well as a personal. On your Facebook, depending on what your use is for it, it can be a little more, show a little more of your personality. I just chose my headshot since I do manage different professional business pages, and it's connected to your profile picture or your personal profile. So to edit a profile picture, you can either take a picture from your computer camera, so just through that shot, or you can upload a photo, and then it gives you the ability to edit a thumbnail and then remove it. It's just going to give you that typical blue head cutout that I'm sure that you've seen everywhere, and that just shows that you haven't updated a profile picture. So a nice option too is once you are going to edit that, you can see who sees your profile picture. So A really nice feature in Facebook is it has a huge privacy, so you can add as much content or much about you as you want, photos, anything that you want, but you can make it private. So, and you can also alter that depending on the contact, the person you're connected with. So I can make Chelsea Cagle have the ability to see everything, or I could make Scott Hamilton only be allowed to see the about me and my profile picture, regardless if we're connected or not. You have, this is just going to be the basic menu bar at the top. You have the timeline, about, photos, friends, and you're just going to want to click on that when you want to edit that. Add a cover photo is something new when they changed over to the timeline newsfeed. It's just going to allow you to upload a larger image that displays in the background. So you could do a wall, like some type of wallpaper. You could do an image of something that is important to you. You could do like one of your family. What we do for our company ones is we design them ourselves and just add them to the background, so it highlights a couple of our services, includes our logo and such. After you work on the photos, you're going to want to do your About You. Now, About You is a little different than the LinkedIn, since it is more of a casual, personal platform. You have your work and education, and that's just going to give you, highlight what companies you've worked for in the past, present, and where you are currently. I have E2M and InnoVision, and since I did work at InnoVision for 6 months as an intern, I put that on there, and as well as what I did for the company, since that did change once I was employed full-time. To the right, you'll see you can specify your living and your hometown. Now, you don't want to get too specific with this content information, if you do make it all private, or public, I'm sorry, just because of a privacy issue. They have allowed you to now add in a lot of basic information, and I just want to forewarn you just to not give too much of your content, just because of all of the just since adult is all available online. So you can put your birthday, your gender. I was a little hesitant on my birth year and day just because it has my full name, where I work, and everything. The content information is just going to be your screen name. So I have my screen name for Skype, just because we do use Skype in a professional workplace to communicate. I have my 2 websites for our companies that I work for, as well as our Twitter account. History by the year is just going to show you everything that you have done since you first joined. So it doesn't look like I have too much on here that I was born and then I have had 2 jobs. So I probably should get that updated, but that's a nice thing to add in. A thing that I want to describe to you about is the Facebook newsfeed, and this is just going to be a compilation of all of your friends' statuses, if they posted any pictures, if they've liked anything. It's just everything all in one. And this is what you're going to see when you first sign into Facebook. One thing I want to highlight on here is that we have the Pages tab on the left. Now these are going to be pages that you like. So both of these pages that I liked, Educate to Motivate and InnoVision, are going to show up on the news feed. So if Educate to Motivate posts something, I'll see that on my news feed. And you can sort these by most recent. You can sort these by in order of popularity. And another new thing that they've added, which is really nice, is you can delete people from showing up in your newsfeed. It won't delete them as a contact, but it will delete them from showing up. And then it can give you a reason why, as if it's not relevant to you, or they post status is too much, which I think is a little funny, but they do get into reasons on why you're hiding that. Some Facebook tips to walk away with is, I just wanted to highlight this, and this is either you can come back to this slide or write these down now. Facebook and a couple different platforms, YouTube and Google+, all give you the option to update or upload a cover photo, but the cover photo specs that they give you aren't what it shows. So as you can see, this Facebook tells you that you can upload a picture that's 211 pixels by 658. What it really, or I'm sorry, I said that backwards. 851 pixels by 351 is what they show, but approximately 170 of the vertical is hidden. So this is good to know if you're going to be, let's say you're going to create your own cover photo like we do. You can do the specifications specific to this. So it's going to be want to be 658 by 104. And the same happens for your profile picture. Now it used to be it could be any size, where now it's set as a square. So you upload it as 180 by 180, but it only shows 160 by 160, which is relatively small. So if it's a long shot, you probably want to do something that's cropped in so you can have a clearer view. Another tip, and as you can see, I highlighted it, new graph searches here. And this is going to be really important for once we get into using Facebook as a marketing tool for your company. But for now, this is just a way for you personally to search for your friends or anybody in your network of interest to you. So you can search photos of your friends, you can search music that your friends like, you can search movies that your friends like, restaurants nearby, photos that I've liked. So if I was to start typing in that I like Educate to Motivate, Chelsea Cagle would start to show up since she's like the same page. If I was to have read a book or liked a movie and I started typing that movie in, any of one of my contacts would start to show up. So I know I have that interest. So we'll explain how that's important for marketing your company. Another tip is events and books. So this is just going to give a little bit about what your interests are. These are books that were suggested to me, or suggested by Facebook, which you can either say books that you've read, books that you want to read, or books that you've liked. And again, this is just going to show a little bit about yourself. I have read all these books, but I think it's kind of funny that they did suggest these. But then we have the events up top. We have past events, and then you have events that are upcoming. You could create events at the top right, which we do for our company as upcoming webinars, or we used to hold institutes or conferences, so we would highlight those in the events tab. And then if anyone's invited you to an event, this will show up there. All right, so next we're going to go into Google+, which is going to be a short description since it is new to newer of the networking platforms, and Chelsea's going to go over that. Are you there, Chelsea? I think we lost you. Okay, so it looks like we might be having a problem with our audio.
Okay, Jess.
There we
I'm
go.
here now.
Okay, go.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry. I was muting. Okay. Okay, so Google Plus is the last one that we're going to go over. Google Plus is a social network operated by Google Incorporated that was launched just over 2 years ago in June of 2011. Google Plus focuses on targeted sharing within your social group, which Google calls your circles. And circles are small groups of people that you can share to, and they're usually made up of friends, coworkers, classmates, colleagues. Google Plus does need to be connected to a Gmail email address. So the first step for setting up a Google Plus company page is creating a Gmail address. So for us, I mean, we don't use Gmail. Obviously, you know, ours are educatetomotivate.com, but we just created one. We do educatetomotivatemarketing@gmail.com for both of our Google Plus pages and our YouTube channel as well. So once you set up your Gmail, you can begin creating your Google Plus page. Okay, so the first section is broken up into 4 different categories. You can see here: people, story, links, and contact information. Okay, so the first is people. These are what I refer to as your circles. Circles should be, like I said before, family, friends, colleagues, referral sources, people in your CRM system. And then this is something that's going to build over time. So it's similar to your Twitter followers or your Facebook likes or your LinkedIn connections. You're just going to continue to add people. Okay, the next is your contact information. So obviously phone number, email addresses, your street address. And then this story. This is pretty important. So this is somewhere where you want to be keyword rich. So for us, our tagline, we have e-newsletters, e-newsletter marketing, content marketing, high net worth, business planning, and estate planning. The more keywords you use, the better your SEO is going to be. And then the better SEO you have, the higher your search rankings are going to be on either like Google or Yahoo or Bing. So the tagline you need to use, or we suggest using keywords that pertain to your industry. And then for the introduction, just a brief introduction of your company. Again, we use keywords again, so you can see e-newsletter, estate and business planning attorneys, and then educate to motivate. That's a link that'll take you to our website. Okay, if you read our blogs, you've heard us reiterate how important it is to use links and to always link everything up. So Google Plus does give you the option to link up your website, your YouTube, and then at the bottom under the links you can actually customize these, but we just decided to use our Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and our blog. But if you have a Pinterest account or an Instagram account or a Tumblr account, you can actually have those on there as well. Okay, so the next section after the about is the posts, and this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just this is where your posts are going to be, everything that you've posted to your Google Plus page. So you can see at the top, that was our most recent one, and that was a link to register for the webinar today. And then below that, that's a post that we did that links to our blog, to our Facebook blog post. And then photos, there's two options. You can have the albums, and then you can actually have photos of your company. So under the albums, this is where our profile pictures are, and then our scrapbook photos. And our scrapbook photos, that's what Google Plus calls your cover photos. And then at the bottom, if people were to tag you in posts or in photos that they've uploaded, that's where your pictures will go. And then you have YouTube. So this is all of our YouTube videos that we have on our YouTube channel. So you do want to integrate those and upload those so you can see that we have April, May, June, and July webinars that we held. We have those on our Google Plus page. Okay, so how do you post to Google Plus? It's pretty easy. If you click on the Posts tab, there's a text box that's in the upper left-hand corner that says Share What's New, and you just start typing your message into that box. And then you have the option to either upload photos, attach a link, you can upload a video, or you can make it an event. So if you're holding a webinar, a speaking engagement, a workshop, a conference, anything like that, you can make it an event. And then you also can customize who you want to send it to. So we always just do it to the public, but if you want just certain people to be able to see that post, you can just start typing in their names there. And then obviously just hit share. And then, let's see, Jess, can you go to the next slide for me, please? Oh, there we go. Tips for using Google+. So we are reiterating using keywords. And this goes for Google+ because Google+ is associated with Google, so it will help your SEO. But the more keywords you use, again, what I said, the better your search rankings, the easier you'll get found on the internet. Utilize the links section. So people are busy, and if they come across your Google Plus page and they're interested in visiting your website, they're probably going to lose interest if they can't find a quick link that's going to take them there directly. And this goes not only for Google Plus, but all social media platforms. And then the last tip is uploading YouTube videos. People enjoy visuals, and video marketing is actually becoming more and more popular. So upload anything from a webinar, get in front of a camera, say a few words, post interviews, or even do video blogs in front of your iPad or your webcam. And then like Jesse mentioned before, out of the 4 platforms that we talked about today, Google Plus is the newest, and it's the platform that we're still learning and researching about the most. Google Plus hasn't quite taken off like they were expecting, but they're continuing to make changes to it to make Google Plus a little bit more user-friendly, and they're trying to make it more comparable to Facebook and to Twitter. Okay, so that's all we have for our presentation. Does anybody have any questions? Again, you can either raise the hand icon on your toolbar or type questions into the chat box.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. So we do have a question that came in. Just need to get the question box open. Okay, so this question's about LinkedIn from Bob Livingston, and his question is, when is it worth upgrading from the free LinkedIn to a premium version? And I'm glad you asked that, Bob, because that's something we didn't touch base on. The free LinkedIn, I think, works perfectly fine. I think that it's more than enough unless you're going to be promoting more. We have a couple of us in the office that use the free LinkedIn, and then we have some that use the premium. The premium is just going to give you the option in order to see everyone specifically who have viewed your profile, as well as the option to add more applications, add more meat to your profile. And where the free LinkedIn, you still get all of the basic options. And you can see who is viewing your profile, but you do need to make sure that you allow others to view you as you're viewing them. So it's a little more private with the free.
And then just to add that, I do know that another difference between the free and the premium is how many in-mails you can get a month. So I'm pretty sure for free you can only get 5. So in case you're not connected to the person, you can't message them, but you can send them an in-mail. But if you have a premium account, you have unlimited in-mails.
Good point. Thanks, Chelsea. Let's see. We have a couple questions about Facebook, and this is the first one is, what is a timeline? The timeline was just the new setup of how Facebook arranged their profile pictures. So the timeline went into, what was the old profile called, Chelsea? Was there a name?
I don't think there was a name to it.
Yeah, so they just moved over to timeline, which just gave a listing of things in a timeline display. So it has the most recent at top to the first of that you've posted on the very bottom. So you can search things. I think their point was to be able to search things by year or by specific date. So if you wanted to see what you were doing in 2000 or 2005 when it first came about, you could do that. You can see pictures that were posted of you or you were tagged in, comments that you've made, etc. A question we have from Rebecca McKnight is, do you have your company LinkedIn page set up separately or attached to Scott Hamilton, the owner? So LinkedIn is different than Facebook. You do have to link a company page or a company group to a profile, but you can attach it to multiple. So you become an owner as well as a manager, and you can decide on who gets to edit or accept posts to that company page. Facebook. The question, and then she had a question to see if the same thing, you had to set it up separately for Facebook. And Facebook, you have to first create an account to create the page. And the thing that's different with Facebook is that you can see on the Facebook profile for our company page that I'm the owner of the page, I think, as well as Chelsea. So you could click on that profile. Do you have anything to add, Chelsea?
No, I was just going to say the same thing, just multiple people can edit anything or post anything.
Great. And then we do have a hand raised from Bob Livingston. I don't know, Bob, if that was pertaining to your question that you asked earlier. Okay, you put it down. Again, you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat box. And if you can't think of any questions or comments now, or you go to set up your profile and you have something, just email us at e2m@educate2motivate. That's a combined email address for Chelsea and I, so we can go ahead and answer those questions for you. And then we just again wanted to thank you for joining us. And remember to follow us. We have our LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google Plus pages. So if you wanted to go and check out what we've put together for our profiles, feel free. And you just go and click on it to like us or follow us. And then you can stay up to date with Educate to Motivate's marketing tips or new services. We did actually have one question that came in, so I'm just going to answer it really quick. Chelsea, any suggestions for making a Google Plus page more graphically interesting?
Google Plus kind of limits you to the things that you can make it like more graphically interesting, but I would suggest doing the cover photo, or what they call the scrapbook photo. If you go to our Google Plus page for E2M, you can see Jesse actually designed it for us, but we have a picture of our 3 newsletter services. So just to make that a little bit prettier, but you can post things. I know we've said it in our blog before, but you can post pictures, you can post graphs, you can post charts,
articles,
instead of just words, just to make it more interesting and not quite so plain with just text.
And when you go to post something, when you type in the URL, it'll give you an option of what the image will look like, the thumbnail. So just to make it a little more aesthetically appealing. Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate everybody taking the time. Sorry we went over a little past 30 minutes, but we hope you'll join us next month when we go into LinkedIn and how to use that as a marketing tool for your company. And here on out, stay tuned for our next blog post, which will be on LinkedIn, and we'll be sending that out in the next 2 weeks. Again, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you.